Hello, guys, gals, non-binary pals, people all over the world. Welcome to another episode of GSC's Girl Pod. It's me, it's your girl, Candy. I hope you are doing well listening to this. I am joined by the best co-host in the world. I don't care what anybody else says. I got Britt and V here. How you doing, Britt?
I'm here.
We did
I'm
just
here.
for context, we did record our Overwatch stuff before this. So while I have had a great time, I won't say the same for the rest of the girly pop nation here. How about you, V? How you doing?
I'm good, but that's because I have beers, and it's a Friday night, and I was really good at getting those hogs in the hole, like, so you know, I feel like that's lifted my mood slightly from being dog shit in the rest of Overwatch.
Listen, I will say, and I have said this before, if nothing else, I give them kudos for allowing the people to create custom games within Overwatch, not like, oh, I had to download all the assets to then make this other random game and put it on like itch.io or whatever. It's all there. It's all still free. People could make the things so that even if your friends hate the 5v5 or the 6v6, you could put them in 12 hogs, 1 hole, and let them go wild. See nothing wrong with this. Yeah.
The only player kill streak that I got for the session was in 12.
I mean, listen, maybe Roadhog is just, maybe that's your boy.
Yeah, to be fair, we did.
It's your boy, Roadhog.
That Roadhog is absolutely my vibe. Just a
Roadhog
weird,
in your profile.
Like,
in your profile, Roadhog main. Someone out there does. Someone has that in their profile.
Just
I have 100%
That's
seen
me.
Look, people that love Roadhog love him. So, listen, everyone's got their thing, okay? I'm a Moira main, and I get so much like, how dare you? So I get it. It's fine. Everyone's got their guy. It's cool. It's cool, and everyone's got their game. And I'm not gonna say Overwatch is my #1 game, but I think I'm not too bad at it.
I mean,
yeah, we think it is your #1 game, actually.
It's surprisingly not, actually. I don't know what my #1 game is, but it's definitely not a FPS shooter. That's for sure.
We don't believe you. We watched you play your match by yourself with other people. Like,
again, that's because I play a lot of Moira. If I was playing as anybody else, eek. Like, there are people that can flex all over the place, and I'm like, if I don't play Moira, I'm not that good.
Candy out here being like, I can't believe I almost got undefeated. Like, oh no.
I was doing
like,
so good though. I was doing
and
so
then at
good.
the end being like, oh, I
good.
didn't get the play of the match. Like, so molding
I
about
was so sad. I was so sad.
And they're being like,
first...
this is my main game though. I don't even like it that much. Like, I don't even play.
No,
like...
I'd have to think about what my main game is. I feel like the problem with me declaring a main game is that I go through fixations, and then like, because there was a solid 3 months that I didn't touch Overwatch. I was like, whatever, like I'm out of the fixation. Like, I was just done with it, right? And I was like, okay, it's fine. But I do that with Dead by Daylight. I go through like, I want to play a whole bunch of Dead by Daylight, and then I don't want to touch any Dead by Daylight. I do the same thing with The Sims. I'm like, I'm doing nothing but The Sims. And then I did that with Hades. I was better with Hades 2. I didn't do that with Hades 2. But that's why I'm like, I don't know that I have a game. I just go through fixations. I don't know what that says about me, but that's my game.
ADHD.
Yeah, ADHD. The Sims is a hyper-fixation game, though. It absolutely is. Like, when you want to play The Sims, nothing but The Sims will do, and then it's just like, I'm going to play this for
Say that to my 1,500 hours.
Yeah, I'm going to play this every hour of the day until I don't want to play it for a while, and then I'm not going to even think about it.
Literally.
I go through
Literally.
that. I 100% go through that.
Yeah.
You don't
Every so
actually play
often
The
I'm
Sims if you don't feel that.
No.
No.
Every so often I make my, like, force my PC to play the original Sims.
Oh,
Like-
I have that. I have Sims 1, 2, and 3 Well,
Yeah.
I have all the Sims because
Mhm.
when the anniversary came out, they re-released 1 and 2. Now, I will say it ran really clunky
Yeah.
until they redid it. But now, guess what? I know how I'm spending the rest of my Friday night, and that's booting up Sims 2 probably.
No,
Yeah.
no Sims Medieval.
I don't have Sims Medieval.
Oh, I do. It's fun. It's so
Fine.
silly.
I gotta go
Fine.
get it.
Steve, we're over to Steve. We're doing it. We're over to Steve.
I am.
Whoops. No, Sims Medieval. Sims Medieval is so silly because it's like, obviously it's a Sims game, but it's not like a Sims game in the same way because there are. It feels like a more structured choose your own adventure because it's like pick this and then there's paths and then there's like different things that you do. So it's not as endless as the way that like the base Sims are, but it's just it is fun. It is
Yeah.
a different tweak on things. And that was also
don't
when
want
Sims
that.
was doing a lot of that.
I don't want that from my Sims game.
No, that's fair. It's really like what do you want? What are you looking for? In like
I want to put 8 people together in a house, make them all like either really like each other and then slowly grow to hate each other, and then I want to kill them off one by one like a serial killer. That's what I want to do in my Sims time. Like,
I like that.
fair.
I like the way you think. I did that. I did a Black Widow challenge, and so my matriarch just basically buried people, used them for their money, and then locked them in the basement.
Oh.
Like I made a room specifically for them. It was like Saw.
I
that's
mean,
the beauty of the Sims. Get out all your psychotic tendencies
Yes.
on some virtual
It's
Sims.
not just sneaking out the ladder anymore because they can still get out of the pool
I know.
with the without the ladder. So
gotta get
Which
more
is why
creative.
occasionally you have to go back into Sims 1. Be like, drown in that pool. You drown in there. Like, go into this room with a fireplace and every single square footage of the floor is covered in rugs. You're burning to death, bro. Like,
Oh my
I used to set fireworks off inside.
I love
Just
that.
set the house
I
on
love that.
fire. Just set the house on fire.
It's like, oh
That's
no,
amazing.
there's no phone. You can't phone the fire brigade. Oh, there's no doors. Like, oh no.
Oh, no. What are you gonna do?
The way my husband used to play is he used to make this. He used to live out like his childhood dreams and make out like the biggest house ever, okay? And half of it was never decorated. It was just a large house. And he would learn enough so that he could clone himself and then put his clone in the basement and make them just paint masterpieces. And that's how he would earn his money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he would play every time.
That's
wild.
wild. Yeah,
That
that's
It's
is
like, you don't play
absolutely
Sims to go to work.
mm-mm.
No,
And I was like, that's true.
No.
but sometimes I like making my sim like super successful and then
Mhm.
setting them on fire because I'm bored.
That's what
I'm like,
Rosebud's
you're
for.
dead. Yeah.
That's what Rose
No,
was.
but I
My
like
mother was for.
being like, oh, we're gonna do all the weird things, the things that always make me laugh in The Sims for requirements for getting your promotion is like where you have to have like 5 friends. And it's
Oh
like
yeah.
you don't have to have 5 external friends to work to get a promotion. In fact, your work would rather you have no friends and do nothing
And just
apart
work.
from think about work
Just
all
work.
the time. What do you mean I need 5 friends to get a promotion? Shut up. Like, this is not true.
I mean,
Mm.
that's fair. I guess it also depends with the jobs because now there's so many. I feel like there's so much variety with jobs, right? Because it's like if you are like the actor and you want to get like the better pay increases, like yeah, okay, you do need to like have really good relationships with people because you want them to be excited when they see you and some of the ones where you actually go and interact with things, I'm like, are like the ones you actually go and do the job. I'm like, all right, I guess I can see why you need to have these friends. I do like that occasionally I'll get like the thing that pops up where it's like you have this enemy at work and now you have to figure out like how to deal with this enemy at work. I was like, oh, this feels real now. This how do I fix the relationship with this person at work? I don't know, they suck. Can I get them fired? Can I kill them?
Mm.
They're dead. They're not a problem anymore.
Stab him in the neck with a pen. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Lock him in your basement. Make
Yeah,
them
right?
make masterpieces for you.
Right? Like they could
Yeah,
just
why do I
stay
have
there.
to clone myself? Why can't I just take my work nemesis and imprison them in my basement?
I don't see a problem with that. I'm like, okay, it's The Sims, whatever.
Yeah.
You get it
Yeah.
out in The
I don't even
Sims.
have a basement in real life. There's nowhere I could lock up my work nemesis. Like, to
Big
be
fact.
fair, I
Happens
would
in
not.
pixels stays in pixels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I could, I would not want them anywhere near my fucking house. to
Yeah.
be honest.
No, I don't want you here. I do not.
Bad enough that I
no.
have to talk to you in the office.
No. The few things that I've done that are like more real life. I've done I don't think this is like a legit challenge. I've just done this myself. I have like designed my childhood home from memory and then found it on like Zillow and compared it and be like,
Oh, wow.
how good is my memory? Like, and that was like a fun challenge for me because I was like, is it as I remember it? Is it not as I remember it? How good can I get with like decorating it in The Sims, like, and trying to figure out like space wise. So that was kind of fun, and that was like just sitting and relaxing. Because also like some of the houses that I've lived in, I'm like, these were set up very strangely. I don't know that this is how it should have been like set up. And then when you try to recreate it in The Sims, which started out as like an architecture game, and then they were like, add people, and now it is what it is, right? I'm like, I can't do what this house that I lived in actually did in The Sims without like lots of mods or whatever. So it's also like really interesting to be like, architecture game says no, you can't do that, but real life says yes, you can. I'm like, okay.
Is this house up to code? Probably.
Making
No, 100% not.
making blueprint, like taking blueprints off of Pinterest and turning them into houses is one of my favorite things to do in The Sims.
I've never done that.
Yeah, just go on Pinterest and like you can see like blueprints and then just try to build it from there.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to have some sort of like artist interpretation too, because you know, like we said, can't do it in Sims but can do it in real life. And roofing's ass in Sims.
It is.
Whoever, if you can juggle roofing, I give you all the credit in the world.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's the part that I hate the most. I feel like I end up not caring that much about the roofing, and I just make them all like flat roofs. I'm like, I don't care. Done. I don't care
what the house is like from the outside.
Yeah, I'm like, this is fine. Is it livable? The only time that I really focused on the roof was when I was doing like the challenge of like the houses that I lived in. Then I was very much like, okay, like this went up in this angle and this did this and this was like an add-on to the house later, so it's a little funky. Like, so that I was like very mindful of, but otherwise I was like, nah, fuck this. Flat roof for all houses.
Well, yeah, I'm playing with the walls down anyway. Like, I don't see the roof.
Half the time the walls are down. Like, what?
I'm not climbing on the roof. It doesn't matter.
No.
Damn, they should be able to climb on the
too
roof though.
I should be able to push them off the roof. Why can't I push them off the roof? This is absurd.
I should be able to get them on the roof so that they can dive bomb into the pool.
Yay. There must be a mod for that, surely.
Probably. Britt's
probably
like,
a
let me
mod
think.
for
Brit, I see
everything.
Britt like going into like the Sims index, like in her head. Like,
I'm just wondering if like, I don't think BB move objects.
Right?
I know what I'm trying next time. I'm just because I know you can probably get a diving board on your roof. I just don't know if you could dive into water from said roof.
And we know people do it. I've seen the TikToks. I've seen the Instagrams. I've seen it. I'm never going to do it, but I've seen it.
I've seen films.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen people doing films.
I've seen it. And I know we're talking about The Sims a lot, and part of that is because of the fantasy guest pitch. But before we get to that, what are we drinking? What do you have? What do you got, V?
So I'm because it's a Friday night and we were playing Overwatch. I'm currently double fisting. So I have a Jubel peach, which is a Jubel mango actually. It's a mango one today.
Okay.
Again, little session, just beer infused with fruit juice. This one tastes like mango. It's delicious. A massive fan of Jubel, so I would recommend if you can find it. They come in a variety of flavors. I think they do a lemon, a blood orange, a mango, pink grapefruit, and a peach. The mango and peach are very, very good. And my other one is another low alc little session beer. This is a Belgian fruit beer. It's called a fruitage. And it's cherry flavored, and it is delicious. And again, just a nice low ABV for chilling on a Friday night playing video games, so you're not having too much. Both are very good. Would highly recommend them both.
I know we talked about it before, but beer and alcohol cans, the simpler, the better. And they're just so beautiful. And I'm like, oh, I love your graphic designer. Like, who designed this?
Yeah, the
Chef's
fruitage
kiss.
cans and the Jubel cans are particularly nice to look at. Like,
Yeah,
just
they're just
super
visually
simple.
pleasing.
Mm.
I don't drink alcohol,
delicious.
but I just want to buy it for the can.
Valid.
I don't know if any of these ones come in an alcohol-free version, because they are low ABV anyway. But yeah, you get some very nice alcohol-free beers, but not these ones, I'm afraid.
That's fair. That's fair. What do you got today, Britt?
It was pretty before Overwatch. Now it just looks like a clumpy, weird mess. But I made a dirty soda today. It is Sprite with Sprite with cherry and coconut cream.
Okay.
So it's it's very lime in the coconut type of drink. It separates, so you got to drink it fast, which it's done to me. But I don't know. I'm in my dirty soda season. I didn't drink coffee today, which was very weird for me. I didn't want to drink coffee at like 5 o'clock at night.
That's fair. That's fair. I think I'm joining you in the cherry vibe. Is this what it has? Yes. Okay. I was like, I think that's what this has. I am drinking something from Ohio. It is Crafted Artisan Meadery. This is their Dragon Heart apple mead with cherry and raspberry added. So the logo is kind of cool.
Ooh, that's cool.
Some dragons. It says
it's
the
very
dragon heart.
D&D-esque.
It is. The dragon heart flowed with the fury of apple cider, the sweetness of wildflower honey, mixing and mingling with tart cherry and raspberry. The unseen force it possessed could shift the balance of power for millennia. For good or evil may rule the day, but only one may rule the dragon heart. Dun dun dun. But it's good. I mean, it's definitely it's mead, but it almost feels a little bit more cidery than mead, but the flavor is there. It's not strong flavor wise. It's only 6% alcohol, so that's not too bad. But it's good. I do like mead. The tough thing is sometimes it's like these huge bottles. Like this bottle's not too bad. So I might try to get some more in the coming weeks to try them out. But I do like some mead, but it makes me think of like Renaissance fairs, and we're not close to Renaissance fair season yet, which makes me a little sad. Only April. It's okay.
I've never been.
Yeah, I've never been to a Renaissance fair. I don't think they're very common in the UK.
Well, that's because historically y'all lived the Renaissance. We didn't live the Renaissance here.
This is true. I live just underneath a castle. There's a castle right there. I can go up and see people in full costume any day that I want.
Yeah, see, we don't have it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I want to do that, I gotta go to medieval times. And the closest one is Canada.
I don't know. No, they've got full-time people. One of my friends, Duncan, actually, he works up there as he works in the castle as someone who dresses up as historical figures.
Oh, that's so cool.
Quite a lot. It is cool. And some of the outfits that they get made for him are immaculate. Like, he looks great. So yeah, you can just go up whenever. It's just at the top of the hill. It's like a 10-minute walk.
I'm so jealous.
We have forts. We have forts here. That's
not as
like that's close. And they all do historical reenactments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then haunted walkthroughs at like
Mhm.
Halloween time. I've been a couple times. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know, it's something. It's funny because there's something about a Renaissance fair that maybe because it's like maybe in my past lives I've never lived through the Renaissance. I don't know. It just like it's just so much fun, and I love when you can go and just like let loose with yourself, and there's usually some really cool acts that are there. Like we try to go at least once a year. It's just always that for us it's really hot when they do it by here. But it's like get dressed up, and the one by us you can also rent costumes if you're not like fully committed to putting something together, which is nice. But you go and you get your little rental, and if you want to have like a little flower hat, you can do that. You can hear people talk to you in ye olde English, right? There's also one of our favorite things that we watch. There's a show called Cirque du Soleil. You can find them online, and I know they do the Renaissance Fair circuit quite a bit. But they always joke that they are the most historically accurate thing at the fair because their whole show is basically done with cats and rats. And rats would be historically accurate. So they have trained all these like rats to do things on stage. There is a guy who like does Shakespeare, and he's called Shakespeare Approves, and we love him. We thought he was like hysterical. And he does a lot of the different like Renaissance fair circuits, but I don't know, there's something just like I have never done LARPing, and I don't think that I would necessarily do LARPing, but I love the idea of being in a crowded Renaissance fair and just like letting myself go into some other time period or some other person. Like that's really fun to me.
Our Renaissance fairs, they're more like medieval, right? As opposed to the actual Renaissance.
Yeah, they are. It also depends where you
more
go.
The medieval part of history, like between what was it, 5th and 13th century, as opposed to the 14th century Renaissance.
Yeah, they do. So the one that we go to a lot, there's almost like one sort of alleyway that feels like it does a little bit more Renaissance because it's where you'll find like the very expensive art and the very expensive like glass and like very expensive shop things, right? But it feels more like the art that you would find in the Renaissance, but then everything else is much more medieval, right? Like there definitely is that, even though we call it the Renaissance Fair. But I guess when you have a whole place that's called Medieval Times, you have to come up with a different name.
Yeah, I don't actually know what Medieval Times is, actually.
So Medieval Times is... actually, I was going to say maybe it's slightly offensive, but it's actually not offensive compared to what Disney Euro had for a little bit. So Medieval Times, they have a show, like a jousting show, and a little show with a princess and a king and whatever, and you're all invited and you get to see the horses and stuff, but you eat as if you were in the medieval times. So there's no utensils, right? Like you get your soup and you have to like drink it from the bowl. You eat with your hands, right? So it's very much that. But the show doesn't change that much, honestly, so if you go once, you almost can't go for like another 7 years until they tweak the show a little bit so it feels different.
Yeah. I can't imagine how that could be offensive, to be honest. Like I assume it's like more medieval, like England sort of vibes, and
it is.
It's like Robin Hood in the sense of like the jousting and the like they some of them have archery. It just depends. It depends on which medieval times you go to, because they're all gonna have like their strengths and stuff. We went as a class field trip.
Interesting.
In like 5th grade. I don't understand. There was I guess there's some historic aspect to it, but like
Yeah, does it do any actual like history, or is it just like
No.
this is sort of
No, they
like
just
what it
joust,
would have been like?
eat
Like
food.
I mean, the
that sounds
jousting,
good
I
though.
guess, is historical.
Mm.
I don't think there's much jousting going on in 2026.
No, jousting is cool though, and I think there actually is place like again, I don't know where any of them are in the UK, but there's definitely going to be places where they do like would be historical reenactments of like tourneys and jousting and things like that. One thing that happens in Scotland very frequently is the Highland Games, which there's no jousting, but it's just people like picking up big bits of trees and throwing them, like just like men in kilts just lifting. It's called tossing the caper, in Scotland. But yeah, like a full blown tree and just seeing how far you can throw it. And I'm like, this is fun.
I love
like
this.
This is good. Like, yeah, we're all having some ale. Some guy in a kilt's just throwing a big tree about. It's like, yeah, we've got traditional Scottish Highland dancing that involves swords. It's like, let's go. Like, it was a good time. It was good. Yeah.
Again, I
Those
wonder, what
sorts
am
of
I
things are
doing in
fun to
America?
do. Yeah. Why are you not dancing over swords?
Oh, can I live in the castle?
Yeah, probably actually. There's lots of castles in Scotland that people live in. Like,
Okay.
so yeah.
Right.
There's enough castles. Like, we've got loads of them. Like,
My husband's a snail trainer, and I sniff tulips part time. Our budget is $3 million. What kind of castle can
God,
I
I
buy?
hate those shows. I hate those shows so much. Oh, no,
I'm
you know
glad
what?
that they're global.
They are. They're ridiculous. No, like I think medieval times is not, it's not offensive, although some people might be like these accents are offensive. What was offensive, it's no longer open, I believe. Disney Europe used to have like Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. It
yeah.
was rough when I saw it in 2018. And not because of the way they portrayed the Wild West, but because of the way that the Native Americans were portrayed. I was like, oh, this is a little bit rough. And
Yeah.
we joked a bit where we were like, is this what it feels like to have your, like, to have like your culture appropriated? And I looked at Sean and I was like, oh, first time? First time? Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that is a common thing for any type of Wild West
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Yeah. And there's a way you can do it that it is not so bad. But I was like, ooh. I was like, this is rough in 2018. This is a
Yeah,
lot.
probably
Yeah,
gonna find that there would
it
have
closed
been
in
loads of
2020.
those.
Yeah.
There would have been loads of those all over random bits of Europe for a long
Oh
time.
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. 100%. I was just like, wow. Okay.
one completely separated from the actual realities of it now, despite the fact it was all Europeans that they did those atrocities. But two, just very much being like, oh well, we can do what we want. Like, appropriation, we've been doing that for years. That's our culture. Like, what do you mean?
Have you seen our museums?
I give you the British Museum. Like, I love the British Museum. It's fascinating. It's like, I love a museum. But yeah, goddamn, like you want to talk about British culture? We're just a culture of appropriation. Like, it's just like, oh, that's yours. Oh, we like it. That's ours now. That's
This is ours.
That because that belongs to us. What do you mean? Like,
It'll do better in this museum. It's fine. It's fine.
yeah. Yeah, it's like, no, you're not Indiana Jones. You're not saving that from the Nazis. Like, you've just stolen this from the indigenous people that live there. And we won't go proper fill into the politics of it to then be like how most people that are very pro that are like, all these people should go back to their own country. It's like the country that we invaded and then like took over and put all of our stuff in, and that's why they come over here, because they got family and stuff. And you're like, nah,
the only place they
can't
can
be
see it
here.
is here because you've taken it and put it in your museum here. What?
Yeah. It's like we don't want people from India like in the UK despite the fact we want the empire back, which was India was part of. It's like, make up your fucking mind. Like, what do you want? Like, it's like, oh, immigrants bad, but also we should absolutely be able to be in charge of their country. It's like, no.
Listen, there's a reason. There's a reason that y'all got banger Indian food, okay? And it's not because that the British dude in the back is cooking it, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. But no, it's wild. Like, the opinions of people are terrible.
2026, all over the world.
I think that's the like third time we've said that today. The opinions of people are terrible.
Yeah,
or people
I mean,
are terrible. Terrible.
They are
Listen.
just genuinely terrible.
It's the end of a work week. People are terrible.
People are terrible. Yeah, and if you're anti-immigration, you shouldn't be able to eat takeaways there. I said it. Like,
Yeah, and you're definitely
you're
listening
like-
to the wrong podcast.
well, yeah, absolutely. But if you're like, no, everyone should have to go back to their own country, then you're only allowed to eat traditional food from your country. That's it. No curry, no Chinese takeaway, like nothing. You're not allowed anything. No Mexican food. None of the things that you like. No Nando's. The British, you cheeky Nando's. That's not British. Get out of here. You're not fucking allowed it. Like, you're like pies. You're like chips. You're like peas. Like, that's it. Nothing else.
V just dropping bombs right now. Like, that's it. Nothing else for you. Oh,
Nothing else for you.
oh my god. Now I'm like, Mexican food sounds good. This sounds good. All of this sounds so good.
Candy hasn't had dinner.
I clearly have not had dinner and have been drinking without having dinner. But speaking of all these things that are happening in cultural exchanges, Britt, your fantasy guest, because I know we talked briefly off the podcast through Discord about something that your fantasy guest is doing. And you know what? I may, this is like blasphemous, but I may do this. So if anybody's listening and paying very close attention, I may change up the order that the podcasts come out only because of what your fantasy guest is doing and the date that it's happening.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. My fantasy guest is LilSimsie. If you don't know who LilSimsie is, LilSimsie is a Twitch streamer, YouTuber. You might have seen her on YouTube doing some. She does a lot of Sims, which is a huge conversation today. But she used to be on the EA creator. And she stepped down when EA, it was notified that EA was going to be bought out. And she stepped down. Someone that, like, who has been in that space for such a long time, is totally against it. And yes, I agree. Is taking a stand, against the buyout. She and Maxwell Frost, who is, what is he?
The congressman in Florida.
He's a representative. Yeah, representative in Florida, correct? Yes. They're doing a co-stream on the 15th. They're playing Stardew Valley, which is another one of my favorite games, for the Players Alliance, which is take back gaming from corporate greed, which we need to see more of this, please. In every sector of every gaming thing. Like every I can't think of words. It's Friday.
No, I know. So the two of them are doing this, but LilSimsie, again, also as one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Sims creator, also has other Sims creators that have spoken out about this. And part of the reason that they are speaking out about this is because the buyout is not fully completed or done, right? So that is something that they are like very passionate about. So really thinking about like why and how corporate greed is, I don't want to say fully killing the gaming industry, because obviously, you know, we've talked about how indie games are doing really cool things, and you know, but obviously there is an aspect of it where the biggest studios that just keep laying off people and keep trying to make more money and keep trying to do all these things without actually producing quality like video games, right? Or giving you stuff that's jank. Or, you know, like one of the things with the Sims, where the Sims has been open to everybody and very, you know, open community, and the fear that with the buyout and where it is, who is buying it out, I should say, that all can change, right? So there are people that really want to get together and see if there's something that can be done and talk about how this is bad for gamers, right? This is, you know, not ideal. You know, and I'm just looking at it, there's quite a few different Sims creators that are part of this. So on April 15th at 10 a.m., they are going to be live on Twitch talking about it, talking about what you can do in regards to what is happening. Can the deal be blocked, right? Is there still some adjustments, right? What is it that is actually possible to be done? Because obviously there is so much concern about what's going to happen, right? And there is a petition that can also be signed. So again, I think this is why I'm going to put this episode out of order, because I know we started talking about Overwatch, so you'll have to see that in a later week. Just know that it's coming. We did it. I got them to play. It's going to happen. But, you know, if you are someone that is concerned about this, right? Because it is now, EA is obviously a very big gaming studio, right? And look, even if you're not a Sims fan, right? EA has many other games, like the number of sports games that EA puts out, right? Like, so it is, you know, it's not just about the Sims. If this is something you are concerned about and passionate about, right? And thinking about, you know, what anti-consumer practices are going to be involved, right? What sort of microtransactions are coming with this, right? Like microtransactions, human rights, right? Like
the human rights violations of the Saudi Arabian fund that is being used to buy this, which they keep trying to do with doing their sport, like having sports held there and having comedy festivals held there and getting into gaming because it makes them seem more palatable to Western audiences, despite the fact that they chop up journalists and put them in suitcases. I'm sorry, we can. Like, we're not going over this without mentioning the fact that this is absolutely horrendous. Like,
it is, and that's why I get the concerns and like, okay, so you know, what do we do? Because the deal can't go through without government approval. Now, obviously, unfortunately, some of the people that are tied up with this are also very well connected in the current government, right? So, you know, and I also want to give I'm going to call it a disclaimer, and you two can choose to agree with me or not agree with me, right? The disclaimer that I want to give is, while we don't, and I don't want to see this deal happen either, right? It is not a reflection of all of the people in Saudi Arabia, right? I just want to make sure that, because I know things can get very construed, very misconstrued, right? So I just want to make sure that we are very clear about that, right? That it is not a reflection of all the people from Saudi Arabia, right? I am fortunate
they're
enough.
also subject to the human rights abuses of the people in charge of their country.
And I am fortunate enough to know some people from there, and they are lovely people, right? Their views are not in line with the views of the people that are making this purchase, right? So again, this is not, you know, because again, it's 2026, people take shit out of context and then make you seem like you're the bad guy. This is not about the majority of people that are in Saudi Arabia. This is very much about this company and these investors and their their beliefs, right? And how those beliefs then trickle and impact, right? Like, that's what this is about. So just, you know, making that very clear don't fucking come at me like we are talking about an entire country. I will cut you.
Yeah. We're specifically talking about the Saudi Arabia's private investment fund.
Yes.
Them specifically.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Silver Lake and Affinity Partners, who are
Jared
well
Kushner.
connected,
Right.
to
I
the
couldn't
current
think of his name.
administration
So
and the White House. And I would say,
Yeah.
if your whole thing is keep politics out of my video games, then how is someone who is apparently supposed to be negotiating deals on behalf of the US government allowed to buy over a video game company?
yes.
That's bringing politics into video games on a massive scale. But obviously you don't mean that when you say keep politics out of my video games. You mean keep things that I don't like out of my video games. You say I don't want to see women, I don't want to see LGBTQ plus people in my video games. I just want to see this. So this is fine. But other things that I think are politics are not. And I also don't understand BioShock because I'm an idiot. Like, but that's a Twitter conversation that happened this week. But yeah, I think everyone should be concerned. It's great to see creators standing up and saying we don't want this to happen because
yeah. And I mean, some of the people she has are still creators with EA, right? So they haven't fully broken ties. Again, the deal hasn't fully gone through. I think she has though, right? Or has she not yet, Britt?
She did step down after, like, not long after the announcement was made. She stepped down, despite her having like kit collaborations among other things, like, and she still plays The Sims, not as frequent as she once did, but she still makes content based off The Sims. It's not like she's fully given up on The Sims, but she's sticking it to EA. It's themselves. Because it's not, Sims isn't the problem. Sims themselves, the games themselves aren't the problem.
No.
So, but as Kayla, as her real name, her stepping away says something.
Yeah.
Because they no longer can use her to make money.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And presumably also try and like sanitize bits of the brand to say, oh, we're not anti-women or anything like that. Like, we have content creators that are in partnership with us, that, you know, they're still in partnership with us after this deal's going through. It is very much a political move that they can do to say that these people still support them.
And I don't anyone that is still in the creator program, I don't have an issue with. Like, there are some people like big names like LilSimsie has already built such a platform for herself. Which I like her videos. There's sometimes I fall asleep to some of her videos, so do go check her out on YouTube. She has such a large following, so in all honesty, they follow her to play other games. She's had Rick Astley on her Twitch channel.
Oh, I love
that. Yeah. So like she's got enough following that, like, if she decides to play another game like Stardew, her followers aren't going to be like, oh, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, whereas some of these smaller creators who are just starting out, that's their niche, don't have the privilege of kind of just leaving the creator fund and creators and stuff like that. So as much as, like, you know, yes, she took a stand, she got it, I'm not going to also, you know, for those who've stuck around, have issues with them. So,
but I think that makes sense, right? Like, she is someone who, you know, she has, I don't want to say she's made a, you know, that she's rich and she never has to work again or never create content again or whatever, right? But she's comfortable, right? And I think that's the thing, right? She's clearly comfortable with where she's at in life to be able to then take this stand, right? And to be able to, you know, get to her congressman and be like, yo, listen, congressman, like, come on the stream, let's talk about this, like, let's put this together, like, let's do this, right? Because I think, you know, when and this is not just, this is maybe, yeah, fuck it. It's representative, I think, of like most people in their own life and dealing with their own governments, whether we're talking about here in the States or we're talking about abroad somewhere else, right? You are not always in a position to take a stand or to do something if you are not at a comfort level that you're like, I can do this and not be destitute, not be, you know,
Mhm.
in an insane amount of danger or trouble, or I am comfortable with
Mhm.
that danger or trouble that I know could be right around the corner, right? But not everybody has that, you know, has that comfortability, right? So
Yeah.
some of these creators that are still in this, right? Maybe that's because they're like, this is my livelihood and I'm not in a place where I can walk away from it, right? And yes, I know that there's going to be these fucking white knights that come out and are like, well, if these are your morals and this is this, you should walk away. Well, A, the deal isn't done yet, right? And B, people don't always have that like affordability to them. And that doesn't just mean monetarily, right? Sometimes that is literally where you are and who you are, right? So it is, you know, but she is in a place where she feels comfortable enough. And again, that could be money, that could be location, that could be whatever, where she can take that stand and be the front face of what is happening. Because again, there's other people that she put in that video. And I'll be honest, I don't know who they are, right? Because they're smaller creators. And I saw a comment where someone's like, oh, but these people are still part of their creator thing. Well, yeah, because maybe they aren't at a space where they could walk away, right? And we don't know what contracts are. Like, we don't know what their situation is, but they are still speaking out about it. And that doesn't mean that they won't ever leave, right? And they are using whatever platform they have. But if your platform doesn't allow you the space to do that, we shouldn't be, you know, we shouldn't be then like, well, you're wrong because you're hypocritical or you're this. Like, no, maybe you want to get to the space where you can do that and you're just not there yet, right? Like there is a way to do that. And I think, unfortunately, we do live in a society where people are like, you have to be 100 or 0. And it's like, no, that's not always the reality, right? That's not someone's lived experience. That's not someone's reality. Thankfully for her, it is. And she's doing it.
Yeah, you think of it as like a job. If you're unhappy with something that's going on in your job, if you are in a place where you can speak up and say, hey, I don't like how this is working, can we fix it? You feel like you're comfortable in a spot. And the same thing is happening this. For being a Sims content creator is a job. However it's weighed, whether you're working another job or this is your only job, however it's weighed, it is a job. And you have full rights to speak up on a job that you're not happy with.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you aren't, well, I don't need this job, so I'm going to speak up about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's definitely, I think when it comes to specifically those sorts of comments that are like, well, they haven't left, they haven't done this, again, not realizing that people might rely on these things for their livelihood. You want to ask people to take a step back and just think about how much you sound exactly like people online who you would criticize that say, well, if you don't like it, just quit. You know, because the job market is insane. Cost of living is insane. The way that people have to live and get their livelihoods and be able to actually just get things like in America, like health insurance, like be able to feed their families, be able to put fuel in their cars and things like that. So saying, oh, well, you're a bad person because you've not immediately cut ties with this company without even thinking about the financial burden that they'll put on someone, you are the exact same person online that's just saying, well, if you don't like working in McDonald's, just quit your job. Because you could easily just go out and get another one. Like, it's the exact same conversation that you're having, but you think it's easier for you to say it because you're coming from a place of morality. And yes, these companies are terrible, and yes, we should not necessarily be supporting them. But if a person needs to live, are you saying that they should just starve? Should they just be destitute? Should be homeless?
Right.
Because a lot of people have had to do a lot of bad things, like, and this is not going to get into a just following orders conversation or anything like that, because playing The Sims is not the same.
Mhm.
But I think a lot of people on the internet need to realize that. Like,
Yeah, 100. You know,
like
I think this is gonna sound so strange, and maybe this has changed, but, and I hate to admit this, but I do think that the French have it right. And here's what I mean when I think the French have it right. They work their Monday through Friday job, right? And then when they're pissed off about things, the weekend comes around, and because they have the comfortability of their 9 to 5 job during the week, that they can still pay their bills and get food, they go and they riot on the weekends, right? But Monday through Friday, right? They're at those office spaces, right? They're like, the working conditions are bad. This is bad, blah, 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 right? They're working their job. And on the weekends, they're like, fuck you, right? They have figured it out, right? Because again, you can't be in a place where you fight back and riot, but then not have food on the table. You have no energy to fight if you do not have like food in your belly, right? Like they found a system. They got rid of the guillotine, but they figured out another system.
They also have a much better support system from their government, and the fact that they can strike during the week, and they can grind things to a halt, and not necessarily, like, and obviously this isn't everyone in France, but you know, like, not necessarily have to worry about. The thing that happens in the US is that like most states, I think almost every state in the US has like no fault like firing practices, so you can just get fired from your job whenever.
Oh yeah,
Like,
like my actual job, I am an at-will employee, so I could look at somebody incorrectly, right? And not because I hate them, but I could just look at them wrong, or I'm rolling my eye at something else and they think I'm rolling my eye at them, and they could turn around and be like, you're fired, and they don't have to give me a real reason.
Yeah, and most countries in Europe, I can't speak globally for how, but like, they can't just fire you for them not liking you in France. They can't just fire you for like you doing something that they don't agree with, unless it's in their code of conduct in the UK. So it is a lot easier for people to mobilize and go on strike, and we still have very strong unions in a lot of industries that allow them to do that, because the big companies can't just fire you. Like, it's against the law. They'll have to go through a long, drawn-out legal process if they try it, which will 9 times out of 10 end up in them losing money. So, yeah, I think it's very easy to set from a position where you would never have to deal with that and say, you're not doing enough. It's like, okay, like, but also at the same time, you know, people in France can riot and they can strike because they can't just be fired for doing it. Whereas people in the US can just be fired for whatever. As you say, just look at someone wrong, you're fired. At will employment should absolutely be against the law. like
I'm not staring at any of you guys. I'm just staring into the soul of the United States.
No, I mean, it's an unfortunate truth, right? So it's like, you know, whatever contract, if LilSimsie had a contract, right, that they felt comfortable walking away from, whatever that looked like, right, because she could, right? So it's really interesting when you start looking at how people respond to it and their commentary about it, right? And, you know, unfortunately, I am a slave to a 9 to 5. You know, so I will not have, you know, the opportunity to sit and listen to her Twitch stream while it's live, right? But I am curious how she'll respond to some of that, if some of that like conversation does come up, or, you know, if there are other creators that end up being part of it in some capacity, if then they get that right, because that is also listen, I'm a Twitch streamer, I get it, but that is also sometimes the downside of Twitch streaming, that people can react and respond in real time, and you have to be able to balance that and respond to that and, you know, deal with that. And I'm sure because of who she is and the size of her audience and all that she'll be fine with that, and she's with a congressperson who hopefully knows how to, pivot and deal with all those things. But I'm curious, like, is there a reaction like that on there, right? And does she go into her decision of why she walked away, and maybe even what it would take for her to go back, which I'm sure part of it would be this deal not happening. And I think also it would be really interesting to ask her, what was it like to mobilize this, right? Because this may be one of the bigger, if not the biggest, like, gaming sort of buyout that people are talking about, right? At least on, here, because of all the context and the culture and, the layers of bureaucracy and government affiliation and so on and so forth, right? But what was it like to organize it? What are some lessons learned? Because while it may be the biggest, I don't think it's going to be the last. Right? So what
No.
could we learn so that people could do that for something else?
100%.
So I'd be curious. Obviously, I don't have the answers, and I don't have a phone line to just call up LilSimsie and be like, hey, can you answer these questions for me?
Yeah. Especially because there's no playbook. Like, I feel like that's why she reached the congressman is involved, because he most likely knows a little bit more logistically when it comes to government, how we as people who are upset about this can move forward, and what we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how?
Because this doesn't affect The Sims.
No.
This affects everything that's owned by EA.
Yeah, it's your BioWare, all of your sports games, Respawn for like Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order, etc., etc.
Yep.
I think we should bring back the guillotine, though. I say this quite a lot, actually.
I feel like we've talked about the guillotine before. Yeah.
And we talked about it on the pod. I can't remember because I talk about it all the time.
Ooh, I don't know.
Like if we talk about at-will employment, we certainly don't have at-will employment in the UK because the frequency that I bring up guillotining people in my office is absurd. Like I'm like, I think we should just be able to guillotine people. I think we should just be able to round them up and guillotine them. The French had it right. Absolutely. Like, I'm on the phone with my sister and I'm like, do you want to talk about guillotining? She's like, no, you talk about it all the time. Stop talking about guillotining people. Like,
no, I want to keep talking about it.
I want to keep talking about it until we've guillotined these people. Like, I feel like this is fine. We did once have to edit out a comment. I think it might have been the first news pod that I was ever on. And I made a comment about Andrew Wilson, the CEO of EA. And we did edit it out because it was, one, it was the news pod, and two, it was before I think we were, yeah, but also two, because it was before we were all more comfortable just saying what we think about things. And we're a very small website. We want it to do well. We don't want to annoy anyone. But we did have to cut out me saying that I think he should be set on fire. And I'm fine with it not being cut out now, because fuck you, Andrew Wilson, specifically.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm looking at all the things under EA right now. So obviously, like you mentioned something, you mentioned Respawn, right, which is huge. Your Titanfall games, your Apex Legends, your Star Wars games, Battlefront games, Battlefield 6, well, all the Battlefields basically. Need for Speed, although I don't know the last time we had a really big Need for Speed game. They also have, I mean, this is, I don't want it. Well, I guess by franchise is fine. They have Dead Space, Dragon Age, your FIFA, your F1, your Fight Night, your Madden, NASCAR, NBA Live, the college sports, Plants vs. Zombies, I mean, there's no Rock Band really anymore. The Sims, Wing Commander, if that's your vibe, right? But when you think about all these different ones, it's like, yeah, there's a lot. And it's also interesting because some of these things feel very inherently American, right? And when I'm saying like inherently American, I'm thinking like the Madden NFL, you know, the NBA, the NCAA basketball and football, you know, NASCAR, right? I feel like NASCAR and F1 I separate because F1 feels more refined than NASCAR sometimes. You know, but so some of these things feel to me, and it's been a long time since I've played some of them, feel very inherently American, and then it's like bought out by this company that is very much not, or this investment fund that is very much not, right? And how can some of the same people sit here and beat their chest about being American and then be like, yeah, but this is fine, this is cool? Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, what? I don't understand.
Goes a little bit back to the people being mad about immigrants but wanting to still colonize them, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like these brown people are fine, actually, because they agree with me or they have money. It's like, you know, if the crown prince of Saudi Arabia then wanted to change all of these to make them much more in line with like Muslim values, would all these people who are cheering it on because they think they're just getting rid of the gays and the women be okay with it? Like, I don't think that they would, but it's fine if, again, it seems like you're attacking the people that I don't like. Like, you know, they're not pro you, they're just anti the people that you also don't like.
Right. Just because you don't,
yeah.
you know, they're not, I think that's perfect. Like, they're not pro you, right? Like, you may unfortunately share some of the same incorrect beliefs, right? And when I'm talking
and again,
incorrect beliefs, like,
we're talking
you know,
specifically about the Saudi Arabian government. We're not talking about, again, Muslims or anything like that.
No,
like,
because honestly, listen, I've seen some of those passages, right? And I'm like, it is warped by some of these people because they just don't like some people, right? So it's like, that's very different, right? You know,
like
which,
all religious texts,
like all religions,
you can use it as a way to lift up your community, or you can use it as a way to keep down the people that you don't like. And I think the problem is the people that are super for it in these circumstances is because they want to use it as a cudgel to keep down the people that they don't like. They're not good Christians, they're not good Muslims, they're not good Jewish people who are using it to uplift their own communities and the communities of others. Like
Yep, 100%. I mean, I don't remember exactly what it was that was said recently, you know, but, and I'm a very lapsed Catholic, but Pope Leo was like, the things that y'all are saying are not very Christian. And I'm like, that's right. You tell him, Pope Leo. You tell him how they twisted this, right? And I don't believe everything Pope Leo says either. But I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I've read that book. I went to Catholic school, okay? I've read it. I've interpreted this, okay? I understand. What y'all are saying is incorrect, all right? Go back to church, give me 7 Hail Marys, 5 Our Fathers, and then come back and be a better person, all right?
Pope Leo out here being like, I think people starving to death is bad, actually. And the people who are like the most evangelical Christians you've ever seen being like, no, as long as the people I don't like are starving, it's fine. Like, Jesus would be fine with this. And I was like, okay, you'd have that conversation with Jesus, bro, because I don't think that he would. Like,
listen, and you know, I can starve my people in The Sims. I don't want people starving out here in real life, all right? That's only in The Sims. And that's after they made me a millionaire.
Muslim religion says that you should help people in need at all
Mhm.
times. My mum's partner is Muslim, and he always gives money to people on the street when he sees them, because that is part of their religion, to give money to people in need whenever you
Mhm.
see them. So this idea that it's like, oh no, it's like they hate people, and they're against Western values, and and I'm like, no, they're not. They like, there's just the extreme version of it is, which has been twisted. Like, you are
Mhm.
twisting your Christianity to also do the same. Like, they're just good people, and there can be bad people that have all
Mhm.
sorts of religious beliefs.
Yes.
But again, it's fine. It's fine if you want to fuck someone over. Like,
Yeah.
apparently, God would be fine with that. Or or if you're not Christian, if you're Muslim and you want to fuck someone over, apparently Allah would be fine with that. I don't think he would, bro. Like, I just
No.
don't think that he would. Like,
100% not. 100% not. You can only do that shit in The Sims. And guess what? You will only be able to continue to do your nonsense in The Sims if you have a Sims to play that doesn't get like changed by some private investment fund coming in and being like, we don't like that you can do these things in this game.
yeah.
Get your violent tendencies out in The Sims, but in order to do that, it needs to stay with the creators that it has, and it needs to have the freedom and flexibility that it has, okay?
Yeah. You want to woohoo in The Sims? Well, we can't let it be taken over by bloody Jared Kushner. You wanna still be shooting people in Apex? Like, we probably can't let it be taken over by Jared fucking Kushner. I like, just printer that's running out of ink, printout of a man. Jesus Christ. I've got no cyan left. I've forgotten to put half of his features onto his face. Jesus. Like,
Also, I'm not saying anything because I'm just agreeing, and there's nothing more for me to add that you guys just aren't bantering about. So I'm just sitting here like, going the back and forth, and like,
This is why we don't let Candy record stuff on an empty stomach with cider or meat or whatever the fuck I'm drinking.
yeah, because my silence isn't compliance. My silence is, I guess, is compliance. But I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm agreeing. There's just nothing more for me to add because you guys are already eating all the talking points.
I just get mad a lot. I get mad a lot, but this specific sort of a thing
But we
makes me
love
so
that
mad.
about you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we love that about you.
It's okay to
if-
be
if-
mad over this because your anger is 100% validated.
Oh, absolutely. Like, we're gonna be when the gamer social stuff like fully takes off, and we're like all super famous.
I mean, Metacritic keeps mentioning our
To be fair.
our
True.
reviews, so
fair.
I don't feel like it's that far away.
No, definitely not. But yeah, then there'll be loads of clips of me from GirlPod just posted all over Twitter, being like, "Oh, she's this and this," and I'm like, "Okay, fight me. Come meet me outside the pub, bro." Like, you won't. Like,
You're gonna sit here and
It's
tell
you
me that
doing
I'm
that
wrong?
and me going like this.
I'm not. I don't take it back. I don't take it back. Like, I said what I said. Like,
Yeah. Let's say it's like I said what I said. I stand by my beliefs. I'm not going to change my beliefs, right? Because I'm like I'm right. Like, and not because I'm stubborn, right? But
No, I'm
because
just
you
right.
haven't given me a reason to be like, you know what? I was wrong and you were right. Listen, when someone sits here and is like, here's the thing and here's, I'll be like, okay, you're right. If I fucked up, I'll be like, I messed up. If I said something that is out of pocket and wrong, okay, then I was wrong. If I just said out of pocket but I was right, I don't care that it was out of pocket. You deal with it. But I think that is, I think that's also one of the points of this podcast, right? Is that we want to have additional voices heard, right? And I think one of the ways that you have those additional voices heard is being like, yeah, these are my beliefs, these are my convictions, and I'm putting it out there for people to know. And look, I'm an old biddy at this point, right? Like, my convictions and stuff are really not going to change that much. And if someone's like, well, we found this clip of you on the internet, I'm gonna be like, okay, yes, I understand that that is a reality of being online and doing this podcast and doing all these things. But is there
Yep.
something that I said that was incorrect?
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to regret in 10 years' time saying that we should not be terrible to people
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of their gender, sexuality,
Mm-hmm.
or the color of their skin or where they're from. I don't think I'm going to regret that, actually. I think I'll be fine with it. Like, you can bring it up, you can clip it, you can put it out there being like, she said this. I'm still
Put it
going
on
to
your
be fine
gravestone.
with it. Like,
Yeah, put it on my
yeah.
gravestone. Okay.
Whatever.
I think bigotry's bad, actually. Carve that shit right in there. Like, like
100%.
I'm not gonna be changing my opinion on this. Like,
Nope. Nope. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I hope that LilSimsie, has a fantastic stream. I hope that the conversation goes well. I hope that it does bring a lot more awareness, because and again, it may just be that I'm not plugged into some of these games or franchises or whatever. But I don't know if there's as loud of a backlash as like from other EA franchises. I feel like The Sims has been the most vocal, right? But I hope, or would hope, and I know it's tough because obviously it's someone who's a former Sims creator, but I hope that there somehow ends up being enough overlap or interest or conversation, whatever it ends up being, that this does gain some traction. And look, I am not naive enough to say that this is going to make a big change and that this is going to stop it and block it, because unfortunately certain political people have shown that they don't care and they will still do whatever they want to do. But even if it doesn't,
Squeaky wheel gets the oil.
right? So even if it doesn't stop this one, right? What do we learn? What do we change? And how do we make sure that the next one doesn't happen, right? And how do we mobilize sooner, better, right? Because again, I feel like I've only heard it from the Sims community for the most part. So if this does unfortunately go through and the games do end up very changed and very different, right? What do we learn and how do we move forward? And there's also, the small little part of me that is still slightly naive is like, well, maybe they won't change the game too much because money talks, right? And if they keep making money on the game, they might be like, well, we keep making money on the game and we're not going to change it until we stop making money, right? So that is the very small, tiny, naive part of me. But the more realistic part of me is like, this may not stop this one, but it could stop the next one. And that's progress, right? And that's lessons learned. And that's growing and figuring out if gaming is important to you and this, the values that certain games hold, if all those things are important to you, how do we prevent this from the future? So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope it goes very well, though.
And and as someone who has, and if someone's in the comments being like, well, why you don't play XYZ, like you don't play Madden and stuff? No, but I do play Sims. My recorded 1,500 hours. There are many hours I spent as a child playing Sims that are not recorded, and the hundreds, if not close to $1,000, I have spent on every single expansion, kit, pack, whatever, whether they've been gifted, whether, gives me an opinion on this matter.
Listen, I played Dragon Age a whole bunch, okay? I had one point bought the Mass Effect games. I didn't really like them as much, but I bought them. I have, like tried some of these other. I grew up playing like Madden NFL games, right? That was like a thing that I did with my dad.
Yep.
I have
Yep.
these memories and this nostalgia. I've played Need for Speed. I'm not good at it. shit. You know, Plants vs. Zombies, Rock Band. Oh my god, like the amount of memories with Rock Band, like Rock Band got me through my college years, right? So it's like there are all these things that are tied up with this that I have taken part of, been, you know, been around or played and whatnot. And those are things that you hope don't get tainted in some way.
I have a Mass Effect tattoo on my body.
Well, we know how you feel about Garrus Vakarian.
Garrus Vakarian. Yeah. But I have a Mass Effect tattoo. Like, I feel like that entitles me to an opinion about what is going to happen with my favorite video game franchise of all time. Like, I went out there, I paid for someone to mark that on me forever. Like, so I think I'm allowed to say that I think this is shit, actually. Like,
And again, I think there should be this level of, this sucks, and I'm not just gonna go blindly with it, right? I think we should always be criticizing, critiquing, questioning,
challenging.
Yeah. And it's not just video games, it's any company, right? I'll be honest, I have not read into the what's the Fortnite studio? Epic? I have not read into this whole Disney Epic thing, right? But I have concerns. Right? And again, obviously Disney's a little bit different, right? But big company buying out other company, Epic, big, you know, obviously not Disney big, but
Monopoly.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
Right, so there are concerns, there are questions, like there should be challenges, there should be all these things. We should be critical of where we're getting our content, our entertainment. We should be critical of what that looks like, how it impacts the accessibility, the affordability, right? If you like entertainment, which, Jesus Christ, if you're listening to this, you like some sort of entertainment, or you're probably just looking for some way to tear us down, which, if that's what you're here for, you suck anyway. You should you should be critiquing some of that, or questioning and being concerned about it. Because how much money are these big companies supposed to make from the little guy, right? I can't afford to go to the movies every day. I can't afford to buy games all the time. And you are going to continue to make these things more expensive just by nature of these monopolies and everything else. So, and that's why I say, like, even if this one unfortunately goes through and whatever, what do we learn and how do we use that for the next case? And how do we question it and how do we move forward, right? Because this is not a one and done, unfortunately.
No. But they were trying to buy over bloody Warner Brothers at the same time, weren't they? Like, which is, I think, had not actually happened. But just like, how much of your media do you want to be controlled by one company? Is the, like, even if you don't care about it, like, you disagree with these people, or you, like, or a human rights level or anything like that, like, do you want all of your media to be created by one big conglomerate and probably AI and it's all fucking slop? Is that what you want? Like, because, you know, if you don't try and do something about it, that's what it's going to be. You will be fed your slop, and it doesn't matter if you like it or not. Like, you know.
It's true. It's true. So I don't know. It's unfortunate, but it's very interesting. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, and it'll be a few weeks before there's maybe a follow-up conversation on Girl Pod about this, only because I'll be rearranging orders of episodes. But you know, I do wish LilSimsie the best with all of it.
I can't believe Overwatch was the more positive thing that we did today.
Isn't that wild?
Let me rephrase that. Pulling Roadhog into the hole was the most positive.
That was the most positive thing we did today. Put that hog in that hole. Like, that was great.
I mean,
that hog in the hole.
Listen, you know, sometimes, here's the thing, now you can say you played it, you tried it, you gave the people what they wanted,
Yeah.
and if they
And
want
next
it
time
again,
we can do a deep dive about how shit Blizzard are. Like, you know,
I feel
just
like
for...
we've also talked about that like before. We're like,
I know. I'm
you
joking.
know,
Yeah.
like but again, I think again, it's like one of those things like be critical of your media, like challenge it, blah blah blah. Because I'll be totally honest,
Educated, equal opportunities haters. That's what you should
Yeah.
be. And like,
100%. I mean, I didn't play Overwatch until it was free to play. Right? Like I didn't put I wasn't buying Overwatch at first. I was like, fuck no. And if it had been a game that you had to pay to play, I would have been like, nah, we're not doing this. It wouldn't have been a challenge, right? And yes, I know it's like, oh look, there's a new player on Blizzard or whatever, right? But you're not giving them money. You're not going crazy supporting this because again, we're still very critical of the things that they do. So it's it's one of those things where, again, what's the balance? Are you being critical of it, or I'm not giving them a pass for some of the awful things that they've done. I'm aware of it and I will call them out for it, right? But also a balance of, I do like this mindless pew pew, right? And again, I do call it mindless pew pew. So what is the balance? Are you willing to speak out about them? Now, if they were going to do something absolutely horrendous that was, like really, really awful, if they were going to be, like suddenly laying off a ton more people and going to AI, I'd probably be like, all right, I'm done. I'm gonna like uninstall. Because to this, I've seen some of these games that are like, we're fully AI made, or we're this, and I'm like, to hell with you.
absolutely
right?
not. No,
Like absolutely not.
Get away
I ain't got
from me.
no time for you, right? So everyone I think it's healthy to have boundaries. What thing do you cross? What do you challenge? What do you critique? And then decide for yourself what is acceptable, right? To me, it is acceptable to make them play a free-to-play game for less than an hour and be like, okay, you've done the challenge, done. And we'll end with the hog in the hole.
Yeah. We like the hog in the hole. I like the hog in the hole. It's fun. Enjoyed it.
We also did a little Flappy Mercy, So it wasn't all just, I think we did 3 matches. I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Almost 3.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because we did a control, we did a flashpoint, and we did an escort.
Flashpoint. So actually, you got all the 3 different types of maps.
Yep.
So you were good.
What we
you
did
you
get
had the
was
experience.
most super aggressive other teams of all time.
Oh my god, they were so sweaty. They were so sweaty. Oh my god. I forgot it was spring break.
Walk out of a door. Just try to walk out of a door, bro. Like, what do you mean? What do
Forgot
you
it
mean?
was
I've just
spring
been
break.
shot in the face.
I'm gonna say though, I enjoyed whatever player or whatever character you were playing,
Moira.
and then I tried
Oh, Moira.
Moira.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do find her to be, I don't want to say fully entry level, because you have to balance things, but I do find her like mechanics wise a little bit easy to learn,
Yeah.
maybe really hard to master, but easier to
Mhm.
learn because it's like I don't have to as much jump around or press all these buttons, or you also don't have to aim with her very much, which is nice. But yeah,
And-
that's
and
my girl.
I'm usually someone who plays on a mouse and keyboard, but I thought it would be easier on controller. No.
I find it easier
it's
mouse and
not.
keyboard.
I find a lot of things mouse and keyboard. I get laughed at all the time for playing DBD on a mouse and keyboard, but I'm like,
That's how I play.
it's just easier.
People have gotten mad
I
at
was-
me for playing Hades mouse and keyboard. And I'm like,
I
but-
think the only games that are like really difficult. Well, I don't play on a mouse and keyboard for most things because I'm just super used to playing on controller. We had like Super Nintendo and Nintendo. It didn't, even though I had PC games growing up, it was all real time strategy, and you cannot play a fucking real time strategy game on a controller. I know they make them for consoles now, but they're bad. play it on a PC with a mouse
Mhm.
controller. But yeah, I think the one games I've seen that I'm just like, that seems completely unplayable on a mouse controller are Souls likes. People who play Souls like with a mouse and keyboard, I'm like, that's wild. Like,
No, that's
because
too
some
much.
of the bindings and stuff for things,
Mm-mm.
I'm like, that don't even make any sense. Like,
No, no. I've had people yell at me for playing Hades mouse and keyboard, which I always laugh because, and part of the reason they yell at me is because when you boot up the first Hades, it does on the bottom say controller is recommended. And I'm just like, don't tell me how to play my game, Supergiant. It's not
Do what I
my
want.
game. I did not create this game. They created it and they're like, controller. And I'm like, no. How about no?
Do what I want.
I'm like, you know how I succeeded in your game? Playing mouse and keyboard. You know the few times I've tried to play controller, I've lost. Horribly and way too soon. No controller here. Absolutely not. You can't make me do it.
I'll practice mouse and keyboard. I know it is better for sure. So I'll get my practice in. I'll get my practice in on Halo, and then I'll take those skills over to Overwatch.
It's so funny, like the jump, because I'm trying to think of like the jump to like mouse and keyboard for me, and it definitely was like 2020 when I like got more of a gaming laptop, and it was a gaming laptop. It wasn't even like separate, but I just like it after so many years of like gaming more so on console, for some reason using like mouse and keyboard felt so natural. I don't know why. It was just like, oh yeah, this is it. I was like, what? How did that happen? And now most games are like mouse and keyboard. Meanwhile, Sean is like, I don't know how you play this without a controller. I'm like, I don't know. It just feels right. It feels wrong when I'm sitting here and for a lot of these games, like grab a controller. I don't know what happened to me. I had consoles my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just what you get used to in certain things. If you play loads of things on mouse and keyboard, then you're just gonna get used to it. Whereas the only
guess.
things I've really played on mouse and keyboard is RTSs or like an MMO, like or like a CRPG or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just like there's too many things to bind to your controller. You have to have like a weird radial wheel. Whereas like if it's a mouse and keyboard, I'm like, no, it's just got all the buttons at the top. I can just pick whatever I want.
Mhm.
Like it's fine. Like,
Yeah, it's just so interesting now that I think about it. I'm like, I don't know how I got so used to it so quick. I feel like there wasn't an adjustment. It was just like, this feels correct. This feels like I've come home.
I'm coming home.
Literally.
That's all I was saying, so we don't get demonetized.
We'd have to be monetized first.
I know.
Listen, after everything that has been said in this episode, there ain't no way, even if at some point the YouTube gets monetized, this episode straight up demonetized real quick.
Yeah, I think so.
We say the word fuck in the first 5 minutes.
I said
Probably.
shit in the first 5 minutes. I don't think I said fuck though. But I don't consider shit a swear word. I know that most people do, but
And I'll be
I do.
honest, I don't have the energy to be like, did we do it in 5 minutes? Let me bleep it out. I ain't bleeping out nothing.
If you don't want us to swear in the first 5 minutes, you have to not let me speak in the first 5 minutes. That's
I mean, I
probably
would
the
need a
rule.
warning too. Again, especially on a Friday night after a ridiculous week of work, I need a warning. After telling people,
What you need to
did
do
you
is go
read
and
my
eat."
email?
That's what you need to do. You have to go and eat your dinner.
Yes. Like an actual dinner, not girl dinner. That's just like a box of Charleston chews. An actual dinner. Girl dinner. Girl pod, girl dinner. It's fine. And I gotta be up early tomorrow too. Ooh. All right, I made mistakes.
Mistakes have been made.
Fine. It's fine. You know what's not a mistake?
Is it liking and subscribing?
That's right.
Checking out gamersocialclub.ca. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we did it.
What's not a mistake is liking and subscribing and sharing this with your friends. If you made it this far and we haven't, you know, I don't know, sent you malding, running for the hills or something, if you're like, you know what, those girls got it right, they right. Thanks for listening to us. Thanks for joining us. Make sure that you check out the news podcast that goes up. I think since this will go up fairly soon, at the time of recording, we will see some potential news coverage from London Game Fest coming in the next couple of weeks, because the UK gang is headed out there. Check out some things. Maybe I've started a trend, and there'll be some interviews with cute little pink microphones.
Yeah, or my pink fluffy mics got delivered today.
Yay!
I don't know where they are. It's somewhere on the couch, but they're here. They're here. Like, we got them.
I saw again. We also have the Discord, because I saw Harry in the Discord mention that it was going to be complete with pink microphones as well. Doing some more interviews. We're just going to keep, we're going to keep bumping up the quality level. I say this, right? And I know that we did the reporting live from like Mario World, right? And then I feel like then we started to get the clips of the games in like news podcasts, like that Harry has been doing an amazing job like adding those. And I'm like, yeah, we had one thing inserted in Girl Pod, and then I never went back to insert things again. So I'm like,
Harry got so good at putting stuff in the news pod that I had to deal with a bloody copyright strike from LA7 Italian news channel for bloody Nvidia DLSS 5 on the channel. I'm like, you posted this after us. Like, what do you mean? This belongs to Nvidia, and we're just saying it's dog shit. And then I went on Twitter, and they had done it to everyone, and I was like, oh, okay. Like,
no, it's
having
just,
to put down my full legal
so
name
funny.
to be like, this is fair use, actually, and these guys don't even fucking own it. Like,
it's just so funny. I was like, oh, take that news pod, and then it's like news pod's doing all these things, and now I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna post these video interviews, and watch Harry's gonna like blow it out the water with some of these edits, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just over here chilling. I will raise the bar so that other people will then do things, and then I'll be like, and now I'm back here chilling. Now we're vibing here.
Girlpod's about chilling, and also Newspod's never done. They've never done Newspod plays games, so in fact, we have actually just raised the bar by doing Girlpod gaming.
This is true.
Overwatch. So,
I mean, to be fair, we also had, while it wasn't officially Girl Pod, we did have Peak. So I think we've been raising the bar.
Yeah,
we've been doing it.
You know what we should do? Girl Pod Gaming, and each of us pick a multiplayer game for us to play together.
I'm so up for that. I hope you guys really want to play multiplayer Slay the Spire, because I'm so ready.
I mean, I'm always ready for multiplayer Slay the Spire.
I've got a few.
You just can't be. It can't be started because you made that a challenge.
No. I've got headliners. What else do I got? Phasmo.
I hate Phasmo.
Get out of here.
I'm a tiny baby, but I'll play it. I'll do it.
My problem with Phasmo is waiting for things to happen, and that gets my adrenaline like very highly spiked. And then when something does happen, I like freak out too much. Oh, it's also because you can't see it, because it's something about the unseen. Because I will play Devour, and I know that inherently visually Devour is visually scarier, but there is something about being able to see it down the hallway where I'm like, my brain can anticipate it. Not being able to anticipate the things in Phasmo like really fucks me up. That's what I've learned about myself, and now you all have an insight into my psyche. So I've talked about my fixations and how I need to be able to see things, or I lose my shit. I might have some.
I'm just going to make you guys play Slay Spire.
Oh, okay.
I love it. That's all.
What about Payday 2?
I'd be down for that.
I've never played
I love Payday 2. It's probably the only shooting game that I'm okay with.
No, I'm down for it. I've got loads of. In fact, I'd be down for us all being dwarves and us all playing some Deep Rock Galactic. It's a bit shooty, but you have to. You're also just fun dwarf times, and I play a lot of that. So I'd be up for that.
So what we need to know
Dead
from
Island?
the people
What
is, do they
wanna
want to
us
see
play?
more gaming?
What do they want to see?
Do they
Yeah.
want to
See
see
more
more girl
girls.
pod gaming? And I know this feels so out of context because we haven't posted the Overwatch one yet. But think about games you would want us to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then check out the peak video, because that is on the Gamer Social Club YouTube,
Mhm.
which if you have liked and subscribed it for a while, you will know. But you can go back and you can find that one. And then let us know if there's other pieces. And also like the style that you would want, because the peak video is very heavily edited. Because I was like, this is hysterical, but I'm not going to edit this, so I paid somebody else to edit it. And then the Overwatch will be maybe very slightly edited, since I'll actually have a little bit of time to do that now. But it won't be the same level of edits. So you'll get something that's not as cut up versus something that was very cut up. So what style do you all want to see, right? Also, because we're all used to this in different capacities, do you want to see these live, or do you want to see them like pre-recorded, right? Like let us know. Tell us the things. We're down.
Yeah.
We're game for it.
We're down. We've done some one live thing before, I think, gameplay wise, which was 33 Immortals a long time ago. But yeah, we're down. We'll play some games live. Like,
I mean, I had you and Koopy on my channel when we did Don't
oh
Scream
yeah,
together.
oh yeah, that's true. That is true.
So I know V can handle being live. We already know Brit could be live. So
We're ready. We're ready.
don't
you
make that face, okay? Don't make that face. Twitch.tv/ohshinebright, okay? You don't get to make faces.
Yeah, I don't even have
I don't know what
a
you're-
proper Twitch. Like,
I
what
don't
do
know
you
what
mean?
you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't know what I'm talking about. Gonna make me edit a clip from her Twitch on here just to be like, this is what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
She's like, I'm about to go remove all my videos, all my.
I don't know. Mm-mm.
But do make sure to check
He's-
all of that out, including Brit's Twitch.
I don't say weird things like handstand pooping and hot dog police, you know.
You also get the coffee of the day.
Coffee day.
See?
It can't be anything weirder than what we talk about on Girl Pod.
No.
Like,
That's the thing, it's not. It's not. It's not. So
These are the vibes.
these are the vibes. These are the vibes. This is how I knew when V and I were like, we should bring another person in. I was like, yo, I already know. I already know.
God.
I was like, hold up. I know who to ask.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
But
Oh, no.
if you don't have a Twitch because you don't like Jeff Bezos, and you don't want to support all the Amazon stuff, that's fine. You can keep checking us out here. You can find all of our articles over on gamersocialclub.ca. Join us in the Discord. We do hang out in the Discord and play games there as well, so come hang out. But most importantly, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your gamer friends. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a cheeky little 5-star review. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what you didn't like. Comment on something wonderful. And enjoy the hell out of your week, since this goes up on Monday. Hopefully your week goes a lot better than my week did this week. We'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.